this thing started. Hello again. My name is Bojan Tanchev. I'm a Chief Product Officer and one of the co-founders of Timify. And today I'm really happy that joining with me, our Head of Innovation, Razvan Gegina, we will be able to present to you a new product that we have been working together with our amazing team the last 12 months and show a little bit how it would help you boost your performance, internal performance, but also help you engage better with your clients. And as this title says, we believe that introducing this new product, which we call Timify Assistant, we're going to set the foundation, the basis of what we believe will be the future of online scheduling and resource management. So let me get started and first explain to you our motivation, what brought us to the fact that we wanted to build this product. We are interviewed a lot of our clients and we're usually very much engaged in the communication with our clients, and we identified that even though you have a lot of optimizations using scheduling, digital tools, and so on, we still have a lot of boring, repetitive manual tasks that your teams are being burdened with. Those tasks obviously are time consuming and they most definitely limit the productivity of your resources. We also identified that most of our clients are kind of, when we talk about scheduling, are more like reactive, have a reactive customer engagement, which obviously it's not quite good because maybe some key opportunities are being missed for personalized connections with your clients, or an opportunity has been missed to bring back your client, your customer, and remind him of your amazing services. We also, having these two, we also identified that there are obviously operational inefficiencies because one and the same resource has to do a lot of things at the same time. Maybe I'm manually rescheduling some appointments due to staff absences. Maybe I have some marketing campaign to plan so I can promote some offer that I have for a certain month. And this obviously brings also to wasted time, to maybe errors, and obviously higher costs. And for many, that means that you're hitting a limit with your resources, because either you need to have a lot of resources and pay a lot of salaries, or you need this superhero person in your team that does everything at the same time. And essentially, we identified there is a lack of automation in terms of the upcoming and keeping up with the demand that our clients have. So when we have these, obviously, informations, when we receive this information from our clients, we said, okay, we need to build something. We need to build an assistant, and that's essentially also what the product is about. It is a professional, powerful scheduling and business partner that will work for you and that you can set up in a very easy way to automate various operations in your businesses. This assistant we call Timmy, and Timmy manages three major categories, three major spheres in your business. One is scheduling, the other is marketing, but then there is also businesses. Timmy can be the tool or the assistant that will give you also incredible insights about what's happening with your clients and customer behavior and your bookings and your return of investment and so on and so on. And the cool part of it is that this assistant is working for you 24/7. While he's doing certain tasks, automating certain tasks, you can now focus on the strategy and on the growth of your business. And I would like now for Timmy to introduce himself in few minutes, less than a minute.
Boyan, sorry, are you presenting the slides? Because I cannot see them, and I'm not sure. I thought maybe it's only me.
Maybe you're not seeing the slides.
No, they are.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I would like for Timmy to also present himself and say a few words about what he will do for you.
Hello, I'm Timmy, your personal automation assistant here at Timify. My job is to make your business operations smoother and more efficient. I offer a range of skills that automate key tasks in scheduling, marketing, and general business operations. For example, I can reschedule appointments when a resource is unavailable, automatically tag customers based on their behavior, and send notifications. Setting up these skills is easy. Just configure the triggers and actions you need, and I'll take care of the rest. By using my skills, you can save time, reduce costs, and improve customer satisfaction. So let's work together to streamline your workflow and boost your productivity.
All right. So before we start and I jump into the product and show you how it works, I would like just to very briefly explain a few core elements. So like you and I, Timmy has various skills, and you can activate those skills. And basically a skill is automated tasks for scheduling, marketing, or business. Each skill can have different variations. So you can create variations of one and the same skills, targeting certain kind of customer group or certain kind of services. When you create a skill, basically the skill has triggers. The triggers are the conditions that need to happen in order to to activate certain kind of action. And obviously you have the actions. So actions are what Timmy will do within this skill. And this could be sending an email, rescheduling an appointment, setting a tag to your clients, and so on. And most importantly also is the outcomes. So each skill is measuring the metrics that show what is the impact of this skill to your business. It shows the return of investment, it shows the customer satisfaction, and it shows the time you have saved by using that skill. Now, how does the Timify assistant work? It's pretty simple. It's really super simple. So essentially you start by selecting a skill. You need to activate a skill, and this could be one of the categories that I mentioned: scheduling, marketing, or business. Once you activate your skill, you basically define the triggers and the actions. Triggers are basically the specific conditions, and then the responses for each skill, how this skill should respond to them. Number 3 is then tracking the outcomes. So you're monitoring those statistical data in order to then optimize as you go and adjust the settings and make this skill more adapted to your business, so your business can always grow. Now, what are the skills that we currently have? And some of them are in development, some of them are planned to be developed next. So the ones that we are already launched and are on our productive environment are absence rescheduler, focusing on automating processes around absences within your resources. We have the early slot waitlist, focusing on providing your clients with opportunity to claim an earlier slot if they opted in to receive an early slot on the first place. We have the customer celebration, which automates acknowledgement of certain anniversaries, maybe the birthday of your clients, and in the future also public holidays, and sending automated emails to those clients that are eligible to receive them, and maybe also attach certain kind of offers to them. Follow-up automations is focusing mostly on automating the scheduling. Scheduling meaning that I can automatically create appointments based on previously existing appointments or based on certain tag that I set to my client. And customer segmentation is, I call it like the skill of all skills, the base of all skills, because this basically automates all the other skills by setting certain tags to your customers, following certain customer behaviors and behavior patterns. I'm going to explain now all of them in details in specific use cases. And let's start first with the absence rescheduler. So absences are a very common thing for everyone. So you can have an absence based on unplanned sick leave. So your colleague calls, I'm sick, and now the next 3 days, I have a full calendar of appointments that I need to reassign or reschedule. So it becomes really complicated as soon as I am not able to identify resources that I can reassign the appointments to, because then I have to start calling those clients and say, oh, sorry, but we need to reschedule your appointment. So we basically, with this skill, we're solving this issue for you, and we're automating the process for the various different occasions that could happen. There is also a situation where you could end up in this case by planning a holiday. So if you are getting appointments 3 months in advance, and then you have an employee who is willing to have this week off, then it might be that in that particular week, I have overlapping appointments, and therefore I need to auto reschedule them. And of course, it also is the case if you have a multi-location use case, that you shift certain people between certain locations due to lack of resources. And then, of course, you have issues in one location where I already have appointments, but you also have issues with appointments in the other location where I just send that guy. The early slot wait list focuses, as I said, on notifying your customers about earlier appointments. And the trigger for this is that your clients are opting in first to be able to receive those emails. Here, the cool part is that you can also prioritize the scheduling. It's not just for everyone. You can maybe say, oh, I want to only give this opportunity to maybe my VIP clients or to clients that are coming more often, so regulars. The customer celebration, as I said, focuses on greetings, on sending emails about certain topics like birthday greetings, anniversaries, and soon we're also going to offer holiday promotions in automatically created emails that you're also able to customize. The follow-up automation is a really great one. This is basically focusing on automating the scheduling processes. So you could have, for example, a case where you're like a health practice, and you want to remind your patients 6 months after a checkup to book their next cleaning, for example. Or you want to auto reschedule a certain treatment follow-up for clients who are coming with a series of treatment that they have. Let's say you're a physiotherapy center, you have like a physiotherapy session that's 5 sessions, plus I need to have a session where I'm able to identify what are the issues. So I'm going to auto schedule those series of appointments simply by placing a customer tag. I'm going to create all these events automatically. And then you also have cases like car leasing. So what about if I have a data field in my customer profile where I have the date when the leasing of that customer is expiring, and then on that particular date, or maybe 2 weeks before that, I'm sending automatically an email to my client to say, hey, by the way, schedule an appointment because we need to talk about your contract. The cool part comes with the automated scheduling of appointments. So you could also schedule automatically follow-up sessions for weeks after an initial appointment. So I have an appointment that takes place, and then 4 weeks after this appointment takes place, I'm automatically scheduling the next one. and the client just receives the booking confirmation email. And they can obviously cancel, reschedule, and so on. And then the self-scheduling multiple appointment is a case where you would like to send an invitation to your clients to book a certain amount of appointments with you based on certain treatment plan that they have. So you're saving a lot of time for your resources to do all these things by either automatically scheduling these appointments or giving the opportunity to your clients to self-schedule based on the plan that you have created. Last but not least is the customer segmentation, which is really my favorite one, because here you're able to tag your customers based on certain behaviors, patterns. For example, you can automatically assign a VIP tag to any client that had completed an amount of 50 appointments. And this way you're able to trigger certain other skills to do certain other actions. Or you can automatically segment your customer base by age, triggering a skill that in the background checks what is the birthday of this client upon creating the client record, and then setting automatically, okay, this is 20 to 30, 40 to 50, and so on age group. And of course, another really great use case, and there are quite a lot of use cases that you can do here, is just your creativity, how you use it, is the reliability tagging. So imagine that you're able to tag automatically unreliable clients based on how many cancellations they had in the past, or based on whether they came and attended their appointment. Which means if I know that the client is unreliable, maybe I will exclude this client somewhere else in my other skills and prioritize clients that are more reliable. All right, so now that I showed you the basics and some use cases, I would like to jump into the demo and show how this all works. I already have here a couple of accounts set up by our team, and we have in each account different skills that are activated. So I'm going to start first with the absence rescheduler. So how do you find the assistant? The assistant is now docked to the bottom of your calendar. You can anytime come here, enable the app dock, and then once you have enabled the app dock, you can pin the assistant as an application. And what's really cool is that it will always open on top of your calendar. So you can always switch between those calendars. That's a new idea that we have and that we want to pursue in the future for all our applications. So the first thing when you open the assistant is obviously you see the skill center, and on the right hand side you see Timmy. Timmy you can see and he can assist you for absolutely everything. He can explain stuff for you. If you're creating a skill, he is literally everywhere and can.
The booking conditions are the central trigger.
Explain essentially every single feature here. All right, so this is where you activate all your skills. Now I already have created the absence rescheduler, but just for sake to have an overview how it would work. So when you activate a skill, this form comes, and then you need to give a name to your skill set. And remember, I told you you can create variations of one and the same skill based on different conditions. And those conditions could be related to booking, those conditions could be related to services, to customers, and so on. Maybe you want to execute a certain skill just for one particular customer group, let's say my VIP customers, or maybe I want to execute this skill only for a particular kind of services. All right. So I define the triggers. Then the next one is to define the actions. Each skill has different actions. Each skill has different triggers. Each skill has different outcomes. So in the actions, in the particular case of the absence rescheduler, I have various workflows. In the workflows, I can, for example, decide to notify about affected bookings, people in my account. I might want to reassign the affected bookings to alternative resources automatically, or I might want to send self-rescheduling notification to my customers. And then once I have defined what I want to do in my actions, how I want to set up this automation, I'm coming to the last point with the outcomes, where I can define the already actually pre-configured settings for me, the time and cost savings and the new revenue. As I said, every skill has different outcomes, so these might deviate based on what skill I'm activating. All right, so once I have set up the skill, and you can see it now here, the skill appears in my skill sets. From the skill sets, I'll be able to pause it, to archive it, and I'm going to be able to also make certain changes to that skill in the future. All right, so I already set it up for this account. Let's now try it out, what we want to do. So what we want to do is we want to go to Friday, and we want to create some appointments. I'm going to just create this appointment here, and I'm going to select a client. Need to notify that client. And I'm going to create also another appointment here. Again, this one, but maybe another client. Okay, Jack Smith, sounds good. I'm going to create that. All right, so now for Razvan on Friday, let's create a shift or let's create a sick day, because he goes sick, and now on Friday, I need to create for him a sick day. All right, I created a sick day. Now, this assistant usually takes some time. It doesn't necessarily act immediately. It's also based on your setting, and it's also based on how you what is the situation with the appointments. Is this an appointment that takes place today, tomorrow, or in 3 weeks? Because you could have different cases. But essentially, at some point, it changes now automatically these appointments. It will, based on the configuration, it will now reassign the appointments of Razvan to the next possible resource that is available for this. I'm just going to wait a few seconds. There you go. Perfect. It just happened right now. So you can see, miraculously, the assistant now managed to find the resource that is capable of doing this service and automatically reassign that. But now you're going to probably ask, okay, what happens if I'm not able to reassign this appointment, if I'm not having any available resources to reassign the appointment? So in this case, you basically need to activate the next step in the workflow. And as I showed you here in the beginning in the actions, that could be to activate reassigning the affected bookings to alternative resources, but I can also activate self-rescheduling notification to the customer. That means that my customer will now receive an email where I'm asking him to please reschedule this appointment. And in the case I'm not able to reschedule, or my client is not able to reschedule it because they missed the email or so on, then I'm receiving essentially last step, basically an email to do some manual intervention. So these emails are sent to you. I have some emails here. Let me just open one of these. Unfortunately, it's in German, but yeah, you're essentially receiving the people that you define that need to receive that kind of email in your organization are receiving an email with information which clients have been affected and which appointment have been already reassigned, which appointment has not been reassigned, and I need to act manually here in this case and call these clients so they don't miss their appointments. All right, so that was the absence rescheduling. Before I jump to the next one, I just wanted to jump here to the expenses and outcomes, because What you see here in the expenses and outcomes, now we have just this particular action, but you see here all your expenses and all your revenues on a daily basis. You see the build actions, you see the outcomes here in a nice way. And you also see for each skill that has been executed and has certain action behind it, you see, okay, now I have successful booking reassignment. The booking was successfully reassigned due to the absence rescheduler skill that had to act in that particular case. All right. By the way, if you have questions, feel free to post your questions in the chat or in the Q&A. And when we finish, I can answer, or me and my colleague can answer those questions. Okay, let's move to the next skill. I'll just select now a different, let me just move this away, different account where I have that. All right, good. So the next skill is the customer celebration. The customer celebration is pretty simple. So you basically have as a trigger to define whether you want to send an email for a certain occasion like birthday, or it could be some other occasion. You can define it yourself. But in the case it is a birthday, we're going to go with that one. The condition for me to send an email would be the birthday of the client. The birthday is essentially a data field I have activated in my client's settings. And essentially what I could also do, I can also filter out certain customers and only send this celebration with, maybe I pack also a 10% off, as I said, just to my VIP clients. I'm not going to do this to everyone. I'm just going to do that for my VIP clients. So from here, I can also select a certain VIP client group, and that means Timmy will, in this case, focus only on sending this on just for this customer segment. Now, in the actions, it's pretty simple. You're essentially sending an email on the trigger date, or you can define prior to the trigger date. The really cool thing about the assistant is you can always customize anything that is being sent in terms of emails. The email is pretty simple. You can change the graphics here, you can change the text, and you can also define when a certain person schedules an appointment from such an email, to maybe also add a tag, like just to identify better in the calendar that this client came from the birthday promotion tag. Next, obviously, here we have time and cost savings, and there is a new outcome that you now see is the customer satisfaction. The customer satisfaction gives you also the opportunity to, based on what for you this skill brings in terms of satisfaction increase, gives you an overview of how what is the index of my customers happy, or customer happy index, let's say. You also can track revenues, so you can calculate the revenue from conversions based on your booking service, or on your service price. Or you can, if you don't have any service prices, you don't want to expose your service prices, you can just define an average price for that. Once you have set up the skill, you can essentially get an email. So I'm not gonna, because this one is triggered once a day. I'm just gonna show you just how it looks like. You're essentially sending an email here, happy birthday, Emma Thompson. And with this email, I'm also sending a voucher code. As you know, in Timify, we have under offers, the module offers, we have voucher codes. So you can apply a voucher code to that email. And now when the client clicks on that button to schedule their appointment for classic manicure, and once they feel, just going to write something so I can Continue. Now, when they schedule their appointment, unfortunately, the voucher code now expired because we used it already, but the voucher code is already applied, so your client doesn't have to do anything. And if the voucher has now a 10% off, it will be automatically redeemed, and I can confirm the booking and schedule the appointment. So that's essentially the idea of this skill. What is the trigger? As I said, the trigger is basically the birthday data field here. But as I said, you might want to use it for a birthday, or you might want to use it for an anniversary, like since when your client is a client of yours. And then on the 10th anniversary, you want to send that kind of email. This is just different kind of occasion. Like what I showed you was just particularly focused on the birthday occasion. All right, now that I showed you the birthday occasion, I wanted to talk a little bit about how do you handle things if you have multiple locations. So as you can see here, I am using the branch manager, which is the way how you manage multiple locations in Timify. And if I go to the app from the branch manager, I have the opportunity, setting up the application, I have the opportunity to essentially, just a second, yeah, to essentially, now internet connection issues. Just give me a second. Yeah, sorry. To essentially define whether I want to make the setup globally for all my locations, or I want to enable each of my locations to configure the assistant and create their own skills as they want to have it. In this particular case, I have defined a local configuration. That means from the branch manager, I can only see statistical data, and I can see which branch created what kind of skill. And as you can see here, the branch Glamour Heaven have absence rescheduler. The absence rescheduler is also used by the Chic Boutique, and so on and so on. So I can only see these. I can see the activities of those. I can see what kind of activities this one has, what kind of activities the other one has, and so on. And then I can also follow the expenses. But I can also have a different case. And I'm going to go to this Optic branch, where I have a global configuration. If you have a global configuration, you're going to be, sorry about that. You're going to be able to essentially create the skills globally from the branch manager. And that means that each location now is not able to change the configuration of those skills. They're only using them. All right. And they're also able to see the expenses and the activity log. But more than that, they're not able to do. So in this particular branch manager, I have the early slot wait list, and I'm just going to jump into the respective location. And we'll show you how this one works. So the early slot wait list, as I said, is the skill that essentially allows your clients to opt in to receive an email notification for earlier appointments. Okay, just give me a second. I unfortunately was using our QA environment. Okay, so there you have it, the early slot wait list. As you can see, the skill is already defined globally, and I'm only able to here see the activities and the expenses and so on. So if I go to the configuration of that skill, just want to show you how it is configured. I have defined that I want to enable this kind of functionality for all my customers. And all those customers now, when you activate this kind of skill, the assistant Timmy automatically creates in your customer data field a data field I would like to receive an early slot, a notification for an early slot. You can always change the text of the data field, of the checkbox data field, but it will appear in your booking widget. And essentially the action is that I want to send to matched customers who have opted in for an early appointment, I want to send one notification. All right. So how does this look like? Let me just go here. Now, if I go to that booking widget, when I, for example, book vision check, and I can book a vision check for 11 a.m. on Monday, and then I want to create a guest booking, and for that guest booking, I am gonna just Peter James. I'm just gonna add some. All right, and I would say I would opt in that I want to receive an early slot. As I said, the text you can change anytime, but I would like to receive an early slot because I want obviously to get an early slot for that. So now I'm saving this, and now if I happen to have a opening in my schedule, you can see now Thursday is quite full. Friday, there are a lot of holidays and there are already a lot of appointments. So if I now, let's say, decide to cancel this appointment with Max, I'm just going to delete that appointment. Now the skill will essentially check which of my resources, which of my customers are eligible for this kind of event, and will essentially offer to those customers an earlier slot. So how does this look like? So if we go, okay, let me see. If we go to, wait, maybe I paste, just a second. I just need to see because I already have it there. Rescheduling daily email. I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, when I think you used your a different email, so let's show
right.
an old one. Yeah, it's
right. Maybe you mean I use this one? Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I use my own email. Okay, so you receive now this email, and you're immediately identified as an eligible customer for that. And now I can claim the slot. If I want to get the early appointment on Thursday, I'm going to claim the slot, and then once I've claimed the slot and confirmed it, the appointment will be rescheduled in Timify, and I will get this here field already in. So that's how the follow-up automation works. There, as I said, there are a lot of possibilities for you guys to optimize things. So there are a lot of settings that you can try out, like you can notify multiple matching customers and so on. But yeah, it's just part of the configuration that you would need. Before we go to the discussion about your questions that you have posted, I've seen already some questions there. I would just like to say a few words about pricing. So for us right now, it is really important that we build a really good product. And for us, it's really important that we see that these features, these functionality, these skills that Timmy has are actively helping your businesses and actively improving and boosting your performance. Therefore, we decided that we're gonna, for a certain period of time, we're gonna allow everyone to use, who wants, obviously, to use the assistant for free. So since this is a paid application, you're gonna have 200 credits for free, for 200 basically automations for free. But that's not necessarily the limit of it. So we want to extend the period for a bit longer, just so we can interact with you. We can learn a little bit from your experiences. What can we improve and so on. And until we have a really good, perfect product, we just want to keep things for free. And then once we have also got a feeling about the different expenses that we have and how this in terms of computing power has an impact on our infrastructure, we would obviously place a certain price tag. The price tag will be based on execution, based on action. So anytime, for example, I'm sending an email to remind to send the customer a birthday celebration or anniversary celebration, then I'm obviously paying. And don't worry, the amount that we have in mind and that we will have is in the cent, the euro cent sphere. So it won't be definitely €1, €2, and so on. Another thing that is very important, that each skill will have a different price tag, because obviously some skills are just internal functionalities in Timify, but certain skills are using external services like sending an email, sending an SMS, and so on. Obviously, in these cases where a certain cost factor comes on our side, the skill will be slightly bit, the action will be slightly bit more expensive than if it was just like, let's say, I'm reassigning an appointment to another resource that is available. But as I said, it will be a cent in the cent sphere that we're talking in terms of cost, and we will define with time what this certain amount will be. We'll keep you updated, but as for now, we are going to have this available for you whenever you want to use it. And if you need more available credits, we're going to extend the credits, obviously, in that period of time. So how do you get access to this application? If you're interested to use it, to try it out, right now it's a private application, so you need to contact us in order to authorize your account and to activate it for your account. So please contact your account manager or contact our customer support to be able to activate it for you and try it out. What's really important for me and our team is that we basically have a very good communication with you. It will be a great opportunity for me if I can have interviews and figure out, okay, what do you think we can improve, maybe in terms of usability, in terms of functionality, and so on. And it's really, really important for us just also to suggest skills. Suggesting skills can also happen in direct, like a communication with us, or you can also use the application to suggest skills from the respective place. So now, looking at time, that we don't have that much time, I would like to move to the QA session. And Razvan, it will be great if you can help me out here, because Razvan, together with his amazing team, is one of the people behind the development of this amazing product. Obviously had a great impact on how this product looks like and works. So let me just go to the question.
Yeah, so.
All right, good. So let's start with some questions here. Okay. If all parts of a combined service appointment consisting of 4 services is moved by Timify, would that form a financial perspective count as one action or multiple actions? Oh, that's a great question. So Razvan, do you want to?
Yeah, so a combination of services, actually, these are multiple events. So Timmy is counting an execution for each event. So in case of service combinations, each individual event that is moved for a combination is counted as one single execution.
All right, good. Regarding the absence rescheduler, what happens if you don't have an available employee to take over the appointments?
Yeah, so the absence rescheduler takes into account all the dependencies defined in the service. That means that whenever we want to flag an appointment as problematic, the first thing we analyze the workflow that is defined in the skill. So as we can see here in the shared image, if I activated the third one, which is the sending of the rescheduling notification to customer, so I want to involve the customer, that will be the next in line, because reassigning it automatically, it's the second one. And that will happen. So if Timmy cannot find a replacement, it will involve the customer into choosing itself the available slot that he considers. And if in my use case, I do not want actually to involve the customer into this process, because maybe I want to, not to disclose to my customers that actually I have some issues with my calendar, with my schedule, with my holidays and so on, with my availability, then I can do not activate this checkbox, and then we go to the fourth one, which is actually something that we have by default. We cannot actually deactivate, and we are only using the final notification, the centralized notification with all the appointments that are having problems, let's say, and they are all notified to the owner, or we have the possibility to configure even additional emails in the for Timmy to send. And practically I will analyze this email and I will take manual decisions based on whatever I want to do. So in certain cases, I might reassign them myself, or I can call the customer, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Also really cool here is that obviously each email can be customized. So this would be the email that your customers would receive to reschedule, but you are also able to customize. You can customize the message using also the available text. And one really cool thing is that you could, if you don't want to send the email from Timify using our template, you want to use your own service, you can basically activate a webhook, and then you can use a certain service on your side, and basically we're going to send you the content of the email. Then you put that content in your email template and you send it from your side. And in the notification settings also, you can define who in your organization should receive that kind of notifications, like these daily emails where you need to do some kind of actions like, oh, by the way, check this out, this guy is still not rescheduled. So you can notify the account, the branch owner, you can notify additional contacts, like let's say you have a call center, then you can notify your call center to act in this case, and then identify the appointment and reschedule manually. All right, good. Next question. What if I do not want the automation to trigger automatically on the appointments that are too close? I mean, I'm in the cap and I don't want to receive the invite to reschedule with 1 hour before the event. How can we control this? I'm not sure if I understand, but
yeah, I think I see there is some interest around the absence rescheduler. So practically the calendar in the future is divided by us algorithmically, let's say, in 3 sections. We have a section which we call the red zone, or the critical zone, which we have, let's say, today and tomorrow. By default, it's 2 days, as you can see in the configuration here on where we have days. Then the zone which is outside, it's too far in the future. Timify is not the assistant is not Timmy is not doing anything, because we consider that zone too far in the future. And in between the 2 zones, the critical one and by default it's 2 weeks, for example. So from 2 days to 14 days, this 12 days period, this is the active zone where Timmy take automatic decisions. For this period, for the regular zone, Timmy is taking automatic decisions. Once a day, he is analyzing and is sending the one email that you receive with all the problematic events or the events that needs to be notified according to the schema that we defined here. But for the red zone, in this case 2 days, we do not want Timmy to take automatic decisions, because we always consider that being too close to the appointment maybe is not a good idea, you know, to tell the customer in the last minute that actually something happened. So that's why we define it, and everyone can define it from 1 day to even 7 days. For example, in certain use cases, it can be 1 week. And in this case, we activated the notifier to work for 1 day. It will work every hour, and it will notify at every hour the integration of the notification. So we are not taking any decision out automatically, but we are notifying each hour. And if the event is so close until 1 hour, then we are acting real time. So if something happens with an event within the first hour, so we are notifying immediately the owner or the persons that we have defined there. Obviously, this case, it's a bit an edge case, but it might happen, and that's why we protected the automation with this buffer zone, so we don't have surprises when appointment is too close to happen.
One remark from my side, obviously this doesn't affect the automated reassigning. So it only is for appointments that cannot be reassigned.
Yes,
Appointments
where the
be
customer
reassigned.
is involved, yes. Yeah.
Exactly. If appointment is reassigned, it will be automatically, as you saw, automatically reassigned. All right. We don't have much time. Let's try a few more questions. For the auto rescheduling, the assumption is for the case of multiple resources needed for an appointment, the rescheduling will occur only for the missing resource and keep the other as is. If it is the same time or reschedule all related resources, if it is the same time, is not applicable and will require recommendation from the customer if time date changes.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
But I think this was already covered as well. Yeah,
it was covered. I think someone also checked. But yeah, it's obviously we are only messing with the resources that are problematic. We are not changing the other resources which are okay inside the event. That's for sure.
All right. We also have a question: are there some limitations? Now the question is, what kind of limitations? I would say there are no limitations in terms of for how many actions you want to trigger. There are no limitations how many skill sets you want to create. It's just a matter of time, a matter of how you configure the skill and the skill set. So, for example, if you want to send let's say we're talking about the follow-up automation. That's a new thing that I didn't want to talk about now, but let's talk about the early slot. So by default, the early slots, let's say, sends one notification to customer who is willing to get an earlier slot. But you could also make it like a game. You can notify multiple matching customers when a suitable slot becomes available, and you can define how many of those. So if I say I want to notify 20 customers and I want to make it like first comes first serve, then obviously I'm going to send 20 emails, meaning I'm going to get 20 20 cents for sending those 20 emails. All right. So it just depends on the configuration. There are no limitations. One thing that you can put a limitation on is your spending. So whenever you create whenever you have the configuration, in this case we have a global configuration. You could potentially here in that global configuration set a monthly limit. You can apply a spending limit, and let's say I don't want that the assistant generates more than 500 euros per month. Okay, so if you place such a limitation, if you put such a spending cap, that means that the assistant will hold temporarily all active skill sets, will put them on hold, and as soon as the next month comes, it will automatically reactivate them, or respectively, if you increase your maximum monthly spend limit, then it will continue within that month until the next cap has been reached. I hope with this we have answered this question. Good. And Sorry. Oh yeah, we have just 5 more minutes left. Okay, we have one more. Can I send an email for a different type of occasion? Different type of occasion. For the customer occasion. Yeah. Let me show how this would work.
Yeah, I think this will also clarify a little bit why we need the different skill sets for the same skill, actually, if you can point it out. Well.
Yeah. Maybe I can just go to the account where we had that.
Yes.
I believe it was this one, right? And Glamour Heaven. All right. Okay. As you can see here, I already have a customer celebration skill set created, but now I want to create a separate one, which I want to call anniversary. Yeah. And this one is just another skill. Now, the system automatically tells me that I need the specific data field. The specific data field is from the type dates. So in that particular account, I don't have that kind of data field. So I need to create that data field in advance. So let me just create that data field here. And let's say anniversary. And this is just a date. All right, for all my services, and it's a customer data field. All right, so now that I have created these data fields, when I create that kind of anniversary, all right, I can just place this anniversary date as my trigger. And then in addition, for example, I could have this just for the VIP clients. So I just want to focus this for clients who have reached this anniversary date and are VIP. And then in the actions, I want to trigger this prior to the trigger date. Maybe I don't want to have it on particular that date, or I want to say, let's do it 7 days before, just so the client gets the email. And let's say also in the email customizations, I don't want the client to book all services. I just want them to book one particular service, let's say hair coloring. I don't know, that doesn't make much sense, but and then when the client schedules this hair coloring, then it will be in the booking widget, it will be just this service displayed. But what I could also do is I could also select a specific voucher code. So I could have a voucher code promo birthday, and that means now if I set it up like that, the assistant will automatically generate a voucher code and will place this voucher code like I showed prior to in the previous 5 minutes, and we'll essentially create. So when I save this skill now, and obviously I need to also define the outcomes, but they're predefined for me automatically, it will now create a new skill set, anniversary, and now I have 2 skills. So I have, from the same skill, I have 2 skill sets, customer celebration and anniversary. And as I said, and anytime I can pause it, archive it, and so on. All right, good. Now, perfectly on time. I think we are about to end this webinar. I hope I was together with Razvan, we were able to give an insight of this cool new feature. We're working hard on further developing it. Just for everyone, this webinar was recorded and we'll automatically send it to everyone on their emails. And I'm really looking forward, if you're interested, to please contact your account manager or our customer support and request access to it. And with this said, I wish everyone a lovely evening, and let's keep in touch.